Hello everybody, welcome back to Armstrong Computers. As you can see on your screen, today we are going to focus on how to create a registration form. Let me show you a typical example. So when I enter here and say ACC 1004 and I go ahead and then I type the name of the student, let's say cost T, okay, and then the address, let's say, is Tema, EMA, and then the date of birth, let's say 9/9, okay, 1999, and then the phone number is 0209461382, and the day he registered was 1st 2nd was 2025, and the course he's applying for is level 1, and the fees he paid was 100 Ghana cedis. The fees for level 1 is 100 Ghana cedis. The amount he paid was, let's say, 70 Ghana cedis, 70 cedis. And the mode of payment, when I click on the arrow, I'll click on cash. Now when I click on save, it will save into the summary sheet. You see it here, costing, and so on and so forth. Now let's look at how to put all this together.
We stand tall.
So as you can see, I am on my Excel screen. So I'll go ahead and then enter some couple of data that will depict what we saw. So I'll move to cell G3 and I'll enter a registration form.
Turning ideas into reality, check from spreadsheets to circuits, we do it all. In the digital world, we stand tall.
So after doing that, I'll just hold on to Ctrl+A and then increase my font size to 14. Select a font known as Times New Roman and my font size to 14. Okay, that is okay. So after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a cell range from cell A1 to Q, let's say Q3. So from cell G3 to Q3, I'll increase the font size to, let's say, 24 is okay for me. I'll make it bold and I'll make sure I'll merge it, and that is okay. Move to cell G5 and I'll type application number. Then I'll adjust the cell a little bit and I'll type student name. Then I'll type address. Then I'll type date of birth. Then I'll type mobile number. So I'll adjust a little bit and that is okay. So I'll go ahead and come to cell N6 and I'll go ahead and say, okay, let me do it N5 and I'll say date. Then I'll say course apply for. Then I'll say fees. Then I'll go ahead and say amount paid. Then followed by mode of payment. Then I'll go ahead and say balance. Okay, so after I'm done, I'm going to adjust the cell and everything is okay. After taking that from the way, I'll select a cell from cell G5 to G9. Hold on to Control from N5 to N9. Then I'll go to fill with color and go to more color and make sure I select color dark blue. Click on OK and change the font color to color white, and I'll make it bold also as well. Done. So I can equally adjust the column a little bit, adjust also here, so everything is nice and so. Now as it is selected, I can equally go ahead, look through the home ribbon under the align logical group and click on align what right, so that everything will be nice, or you can even maintain align what left. So let's make it align right, and I'll bring column in between here, press enter, and for the date also, date apply for column like that. So let's select this, I'll bring column, fees column, amount paid column, mode of payment column, and then balance also column. So that is okay. So I'll undo that. So amount paid column. So I'll go ahead and come to mobile column, press enter, then birth date, enter column, and then I'll come to address, add my column there, like kind of semicolon, kind of nicely. I come to my number column like that. So I'm done there. Now I want to close the space here, so I can equally select this just a little. So this is equally okay, but I'll maintain it as it is this way. Then after that, I'll come to this side where I can close here a little bit, and close here also a little bit here, and close the space here also a little bit, so that at least I can have everything in a nice form. So here, this is where I'm going to enter my data. So far as my form number is concerned, I'll highlight it and open it a little bit wider, and do the same thing here also, open here also a little bit wider nicely. So after doing that, I'll just highlight these cells and then hold on to control, select from cell A05 to 09, then I'll fill with color. Let's say, let me select we'll go to more color, and let me select this, maybe light yellow. Okay, that's okay, nicely. Then I'll select sorry from here to here, hold on to control, from here to here, and look through the home ribbon under the font logic. I'll click on the arrow here and I'll select all borders, so that borders will surround it. Then I'll select my registration form heading and fill with color dark blue. So select my dark blue, click on OK, font color white, and that's okay. So after I'm done, what I'm going to do again is that I'm going to select a cell range from cell G3 down to Q14. So after highlighting, what I'll do is that I'll go directly and come to look through the home ribbon under the font, click on the arrow beside it, and then now I want to surround the font over the whole thing. So I'll come here this side and then I'll click so that it will surround the entire thing with font nicely. In addition to that, what I like to do is that you could see there's a space I created here, which here this is attached to the form. Now when you see yourself in that, just right click on, highlight on the column G, right click on it and click on insert, and then it will insert another section nicely. Now when this section is just inserted, what I like to do is that, which means that I need to extend the merge to this, so that I'll merge both here and there. Okay, so my border have to be rather up to this side, so I'll come and take off that and come and take off the inside border, so no border around them. Go back again and select this side, so I can surround the title with border nicely. So after I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and then create something we call a button here. So before then, let me format all this with border. So I highlight, from here to here, hold on to control, from here to here, select it, select both, and then I'll bring the mouse pointer to border here, select all border, so there'll be border around them nicely. So I'm done. So moving on, the next I'm going to do is, as I just said, this is kind of like registration form where you use it to enter data. So okay, and then to display in the next sheet. And we are not going to use code, we are going to just go to use macro to do this. So after taking this from the way, the next thing I'd like us to look at is I want to talk about macro. What is macro? Let's get to another segment for us to understand what a macro is, and I will come back to continue with the lesson. Okay, welcome to question time segment. And if you know the answer to this question, just simple, just comment it in the comment section. Now, what is today's question? The question for today is, what is macro in Excel? What is macro in Excel? Now we have only 15 seconds to just provide the answer in the comment section.
Turning ideas into reality check. From spreadsheets to circuits, we do it all. In the digital world, we stand tall.
Okay, the clock just stopped. What is the answer? A macro in Excel is a recording sequence of actions or commands that allows you to automate repetitive tasks within a spreadsheet. Other way around, one can say a macro is a recording of keystrokes. Without wasting my time, let that straight and continue with the lesson. Now, the next one I'd like us to look at is that we need to create a button here. So where when we click on submit, it will display in the other sheet. So to do that, what I'd like you to do is that click on insert, look through the insert ribbon under the shape logical. Click on the target arrow below the shape, and I love using this very style as we did. Okay, and select it, drag it from here to here nicely, and carry it and position it somewhere here. Then you come to click on look through the shape format, another shape style. Click on the arrow here, and let me select this kind of like greenish, and I'll click inside it, and then I'll type like save. Okay, so I'll type save nicely, so SAVA, then I'll hold on to Ctrl+A to highlight on it, click on home, and I'll increase the font size a little bit. So let me increase the font size to 32, then I'll click on center and then middle align, make it bold, I'll italize it, and I think this is okay. So my form is created. There's not another thing I like us to do is that the courses are kind of like level. I have the ICT level 1, so I want you to be like a drop down list where I can select the course. So how will I do this? So to do this, what I like you to do is that go ahead and click on where we have data and look through the data, kind of like the data ribbon, and come to where we have data validation. Click on it and click on this side where we have data validation. So when you click, it will then display this. Now, as I just said, I want the course apply for should be drop down list. So I come to this where we have validation category, where we have allow, click on the task arrow, click on list. So when I click on list, in here, the section here, okay, I'd like you to type the list. So each of the lists you bring, with each of the item you bring comma. So I'm going to say ICT level 1, so comma, then ICT level 2, also comma, then I'll go ICT also level 3. So done. So this is going to be my drop down list. When I click on the arrow here, it will display this for me to select the course that the student is applying for. So I'll go ahead and click on OK. So done. So when I click on the arrow here, you can see it's giving me the drop down list. When I click on let's say level 2, level 2 display. When I select level 3, let me do it again. Level 3 will display. When I click on the arrow drop down, level 1 will display. So that is that. Amounts paid. These two are kind of like money. So it's a money field, so I'm going to highlight on it and change the field to currency, where I'll select both and then click on home, look through the home ribbon, come to where we have number, click on the tasked arrow here and go to more format, select currency, then I'll type GH and this is Ghana cedis, click on OK and it is formatted. Balance is going to be fees, which is equal to P6 minus amounts paid will give me the balance. So that is done already. So payment, mode of payment, so the person pay with Momo or cash. Okay, so we are going to look at that. So with that side also, I'm going to do with a drop down list also. So how do we do that? So to do that, mode of payment, as I'm here, what I'm going to do is that I'll click on data, look through the data, okay, and come to where we have data validity and select data validation and come to allow, click and select list. So after I select list, the next I'm going to do is that with the source, I'm going to say first thing is going to be Momo. So Momo, comma, and if cash, I'll say what? Cash, comma, then I'll say check. You can even say bank transfer if you prefer that. Okay, so check, and I'll click on OK. So the moment I've done that, when I click on this arrow, it will display Momo. When I click on the arrow here, I'll select Momo, and if it's cash, I'll select cash, and if it's check, I'll select check. Done. So I'm done with my design. So I'll position this nicely here. Done. So what I'll do is that I'm going to call this sheet 1 as registration sheet. I'll click on it and then name it as registration sheet. Okay, nicely. So the next I'm going to do is that I'm going to click on the plus here, which is add new sheet here, and I'll click on add new sheet and I have this. But before then, let me come back to my registration form and let's enter a form number. So the form number ACS or ACC, Armstrong Computer College, and I will say 1001, and student name, let me say Prince. Okay, Prince Armstrong. So let me adjust the cell a little bit. Okay, then here address, let me say PMB number 25 TEMA, Tema, nicely. Let me adjust it also, so this is okay. Then date of birth, let me say I'm born 24th of April 2001, I'm just saying. And then my telephone number, let me say 057 31 400, okay, let me say 940, kind of. Okay, so I'm done. So I have date, so the date is going to be today, so I'm going to use today's date, or let me just say random dates, first, second set, so 2025, and the level I'm doing, let's say I'm doing level 1, and my fees is 100 cedis. and what I paid was, I paid only 50 Ghana cedis. So he's giving me a balance of that. How did I pay? I paid through Momo. Okay, done. Submit that report to the next sheet. Okay, so what I'll do is that I'll come here and then type all this sheet there, this very sheet. I need to type all here. So what I'll do is I'll select this sheet here, and sheet 2, I'm going to give it a name as summary. So I'll double click on sheet 2 and type summary. So after that, what I'll do is that I'll come here, in here, okay, and then type all that here nicely. So let's look at that. So I'm going to say, hold on to Ctrl+A and click on the Home tab and select Times New Roman. Font size again, I'll make it 14 to look good. Then after that, I'll move to cell E2 and say application number, and F2 I'll say date, and then G I'll say student's name. So I'll go on and fill. So let me fill all that so that we'll just continue. Okay, so after that, let me highlight the column from column E to Q, and let me double click so that it will adjust everything nicely. Fees, everything is nice, adjust. Then after that, I'll highlight from cell E2 down to this and fill with color blue, white. I think it's okay. Done. So take it out from the way, I'm going to highlight on this from here to here and click on copy. So when I click on copy, I'll come to registration form. Then in here, in my registration form here, I'll click on paste. So I have them here. But when I'm going to format, it's going to affect my form. So for me not to do that, I won't do that, and select this section rather. And let me scroll and go ahead and click on paste numbers nicely. Then it is there. So let me shift it a little bit so you guys can see. Then I'll highlight on each column like this, okay, and double click so that I have all the fields nicely. So as I have all these fields here, as it is here nicely, so now what I'm going to do is that I have to call in all the item and then assign, like when I click on save, it's supposed to come here. So what I'm going to do again is that I have to make sure that I enter all the item and the cells here. So how will I do? I'll bring the mouse pointer here. So I feel like the U application number is concerned. I'll say equal to, then I'll select application number and press enter, and come here dates. So equal to the date is this, press enter. Then I'll come here, then I have equal to, and I'll select name, press enter. So let me just do all that and then we'll continue. Okay, so after I've done all that, I know you've also done that. You can see I fill everything in that order, so you can also do the same thing and then we can continue. Okay, now taking that from the way, after we are done, the next thing we are going to do is that now we need to then record our macro, so that the macro recorder will help us then send all this to this particular field. So to do that, what we need to do is that now you can see here, I have a development tab here, but maybe you may not have. So if you don't have the development tab here, just click on file and go to where we have option, and it was the Excel option dialog box will display. What I'd like you to do, come to where we have custom ribbon. When you come to custom ribbon, click on where we have choose command from, click on the arrow and select where we have main tab. So when you select the main tab, you can see the development tool, click and go ahead and click on add. Because I already have it already, so you can see it's like I'm adding more already. So basically that is how you can go ahead and add that. After that, just click on OK and it will just display here or maybe anywhere, it depends. Okay, so that is just that. When I say depends, what I'm trying to say is that when I click on file and then go to option and select, let's say custom ribbon, and select, let's say menu tab, you see that my development tab here, you can see it here, and I select development tab. When I click on add, you can see that it is showing here. Now when I drag it and bring it somewhere, let's say after home insert, and I click on OK, it's going to display here. But if you want it to display here too, it can. So I have two development here, two development. So that's what I'm saying. It depends on where you want to put it. So I want only one development, so you can equally also right click here and click on custom ribbon and then check it out or add it. So I want to check it out, so I'll go ahead and then check it out so that it will not display twice. So I'll click here on check, or I'll select and click on remove and click on OK, and that is just that. I have only one development. So for us to record our macro, what I'd like you to do is that click on the development and come to where we have record macro. So you need to give a name to the macro. So I'm going to give it a name as registration, and then I'll go ahead and then click on OK. So my macro is turned on. So what I'll do is that as my macro is turned on, I'm going to select a cell range from cell, this cell, which is U4 down to what AE what 4. Then I'll click on the home tab and click on copy. Then I'll come and select this section here, and I'll click on, you see where we have copy, click on the arrow here. You see, click on the arrow where we have click on the home tab, look through the home tab, under the clipboard logical where we have paste, click on the arrow beside the paste and click on paste values. Okay, paste values. So paste values, you realize that as I click on paste value, you can see that here is date. The date now has now changed to number. But don't be alarmed. What I'd like you to do is that select that and then come to where we have here. You can see where we have look through the home ribbon under the number logical group. Click on the tasklet arrow beside general and then select short date so it will change. Now the money column also was formatted to currency. So what I'd like you to do again is that here also I have to click on it and go ahead and then select currency. I can go to more format, select my currency here and click and type GH, which it has select that, and I click on OK. And here also the same, my amount paid and balance, they are all currency. I hold on to control and select both and come to currency and click on more format, select currency, click on it, select GH, which is already there, click on OK. So it is formatted nicely. So after taking that from the way, what I will do next is that I'll first highlight on this from here, okay, from here to here, okay. So what I have from here to here, and I right click and click on copy. When I come to summary and select here and click on the insert, click on look through the home ribbon where we have insert. So I click on insert copy cell. Okay, here you can see here it has selected where we have specific cell right. No, I want to say specific cell down. I mean that it should display the cells down whilst I enter. So I'll go ahead and click on OK, and then it is there displaying. So I'll double click and everything will be formatted nicely. So that is just that. So after I'm done, that is not all. Come back to your registration form, and after copying, what I like us to do is that let's come back to our main form. Now, what we like to do is that before we stop the recording, we want in a way that when you click on save, you should send the record, whatever we have entered here, to the summary sheet. Okay, fine. But yes, still, when we save, we want this very side to be blank. Okay, so for us to do that, select the registration, delete that, name, delete the name, address, delete the address, date of birth, delete it, phone number, delete it, date registered, delete it, cost, delete that, amount paid, delete that, and then balance left, delete that, payment method, delete that. So we have this. So after we are done, come back to the development tab and click on stop recording. Okay, now you've finished stop recording. We need to assign a button. We need to assign the macro to this button. So just select this button, right click on it, and then look through the menu display. It's where we have assigned macro. Click on that, and when the assigned macro display, what I'd like you to do is that select the registration macro as in depending on the name you give to the macro. Go ahead and click on OK. Then after that, done. So this button, anytime we enter something and you click on this button, it will send the record, okay, the reference here. Okay, now we are done. Let's test, how they call it, our system to see how it's working. Now, because we are dealing with kind of like system, don't worry, this is our dashboard that we use to do the rough work. I'm going to show you how it works, don't worry. So just come here and just enter a random item. So we have to say in caps of course ACC 1002, and the name is TT King. That's the name of the person, and the address is let's say Accra, ACCRA. Date of birth, let's say is born 3rd, okay, 2001. I'm just saying. So telephone number, let's say 02094556667, and the dates in which he registered, let's say 8/9/ let's say 2025. I'm just saying. And the cost applied for, click on the arrow and select level 3, and the amount he paid was 300. So the fees for the level 3 is 300, and amount paid, let's say 150, and method of payment, mode of payment, so he paid cash. So when I finish and click on save, you can see it is saved, so it is blank. Now when I come to my summary, you can see that report is here. You see there. So you can see that as I click on save, it will display here that this is a number, this is the Dick King, TT King, address is Accra, date of birth, and so on and so forth. But look at something here. The format here for the date of birth, because when you watch here, for instance, here the date of birth here, we did not format it because it is number. So for us to be at a safer side, because it's reference, select this and then click on the home tab, and let's go to where we have how do you call it, general, and select short date. Now when you do this, is it going to affect this here? I don't think so, but let's look at it if in case it will. So let's try that. So let's enter another one. So another one, let's say that is ACC 1003, and the student name is King. Let's say King Lolo, and address is, let me just short it by making it Tema, TEMA, and the date of birth is 6, let's say 1999. Phone number is 020-999-9999. So kind of, and the date he or she registered was 5th, let's say 2025. I'm just saying. And the course he applied for is level 2. The fees for level 2 is 200. and the amount he paid was 50 Ghana cedis, and mode of payments was, let's say, check. I'm just saying. Now when I click on save, you can see it has saved. Now we go to summary, for instance. Now you can see that now the date of birth has changed. Now because it is referencing what is here, okay, so it has changed. Now after you are done, it is likely that you don't want your people or whoever you are designing this for to see this equation, whatever you did here. So you can equally highlight this cell and then hold on to Control Shift and press the movement arrow on your right hand side like this to select the entire cell. Then you go ahead, right click and click on hide. So this side will hide. You can also do the same thing down here. Also you can hold on to select one row 16, okay, hold on to Control Shift, press the arrow down to select all. You can right click and click on hide. So done. So this becomes your form, and you can equally focus on this, and then you are good to go nicely. Okay, so therefore after you are done, and then probably you want to then send this to someone and the person to be using, or whoever you are designing this for, you need to save this as macro, because we use macro. How do we do that? Click on file and click on save as, and then click on browse. So specify the location, so maybe my desktop, and here where we have save as type, and then you select where we have here. So we have Excel macro embedded worksheet. Select that and then give it a name, whatever name that you want to give it. So I'll give it a name as, let's say, costs. I'm just saying cost, and then click on save, and then done. You can just go ahead and send it to whoever that you designed it for. Now if you want to watch how to use an if function in Excel, don't hesitate to watch the video above here. But again, if you want to also watch how to use an online tool to convert an image document to Microsoft Word, don't hesitate to watch this video here, and that's what will help you. So thank you so much for watching. See you in the next lesson. Bye bye.